Welcome to The Race. This is a book that will revive your heart, renew your spirit, and teach you how to run without growing weary. It'll teach you how to live life like a champion. I don't know about you, but when life is over, I want to know that I did what I was created to do, that I achieved all that God gave me in life to achieve, that I ran the race of life to its fullest potential. And so about 30 years ago, God gave me a vision, a dream. It was through a friend. We were running partners together, and in Germany, I was a pastor of a church over there, and he challenged me to run the original Greek marathon, and he and I were training to do that, the course that Phidippides ran in 490 BC. And so we trained, we were getting ready, and then one day he was tragically killed. When he was killed, it was as though the whole dream died, and when I spoke at his funeral and we buried him, it was as though that dream was buried with him. And it lay there in that grave for 30 years until 3.5 years ago, I was diagnosed with cancer. And the doctor said to me that they were going to have to do surgery, cut through my stomach. And he said, there's 2 things you need to do to prepare for the surgery. First, you need to lose some weight. I'd gotten really overweight. And then the second thing he said is that you need to build endurance. Well, I knew how to do both of those things, run. And then one day I was having my time alone with God, and he spoke to my heart. And out of Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 1, and he said, let us run with endurance the race that is set before us. And he put in my heart to run that Greek marathon, and I did it. About 2.5 years ago, I ran that original Greek marathon, and I completed it. And God taught me a lot of things. As I read the scripture, the Bible just came alive as I saw there were many passages from Isaiah to the writings of Paul to the book of Hebrews where the scripture talks about the athlete and running. And it compares it to the Christian life, and it teaches us how to live as a champion. So as I trained and as I read the scripture together, these 2 things converged, and I began to put those things into a message. I spoke in Romania just 2 months after I ran the Greek marathon, and when I spoke on these principles and these truths, God just moved in a mighty way in the lives of the people there. And the Lord spoke to my heart and said, I need to put some of those truths down into print. And so I began to write this book that I prepared for you. I believe it will be a blessing. It'll teach you how to overcome adversity. It'll teach you how to be renewed in your life, in your personal walk with God. It'll teach you how to run. Also, there's some health principles there. So I want to encourage you to read this book with a heart that says, God, teach me to be the person you want me to be. Teach me to run like a champion. Get ready to run. I believe God's going to do a great work through this book in your life.